Good evening and welcome to Match of the Day, which comes from Stamford Bridge, home of Chelsea FC, a club with its own special image through the years. A mixture of music hall fun laced with artistic players from Hughie Gallagher and Vic Woodley to Peter Osgood and Charlie Cook. But as former FA Cup and European trophy winners and champions of the First Division, they've had their moments. And it's with that same crest-of-the-wave spirit that they take on Everton, last season's FA Cup winners, this evening. Now, on September the 1st, 1906, Chelsea beat Glossop 9-2, and 19-year-old George Hillsden scored 5 goals on his debut, still a league record, incidentally. Now, George went on to become the first player to score 100 goals for Chelsea, a feat which was commemorated by creating a weather vane from his image. Now, when the new stand was built in 1972, the weather vane was lost, and a Chelsea slump began. When Chairman Ken Bates took over in 1982, relegation to the third division appeared imminent. Ken accepted a proposition from a fan's letter that George, the weather vane, should be restored immediately. So they had a bigger and better one made by a local blacksmith. And since the installation, Chelsea's fortunes have changed dramatically for the better, culminating in winning last season's Second Division Championship and getting back in the big time. Their opponents tonight, Everton, have won more First Division points than any team in the Canon League, but none as yet this season. With me is Bobby Charlton. Welcome back, Bob. Looking forward to the game tonight?
Yeah, I always look forward to a new season, but especially when you get a chance to have a look at some of the newcomers that have come from the Second Division. And having seen a little reminder there of the match against City when they got promoted last year, it just revives memories for me, which are very, very nice. And I hope that they can bring all that skill that they showed then into the First Division. I mean, young Speedy, you know, and Nevin, really, the first time I'd seen them last year, and I was very, very impressed with them, as with Kerry Dixon. And then you've got Everton, who having the euphoria of beating Liverpool and seeming not to be able to get over it. For their first 2 matches of the season, they've lost. I'll be interested to see if they can pull themselves around again. But there's lots of interesting items that are going to happen tonight, you know.
Hopefully it'll be as entertaining as the last time we saw them. Well, kick-off time coming up in a moment, so let's join your match commentator, John Watson.
If I could just take up your point about that stand, Jimmy, it's anniversary time, actually, this week, because you rightly said the stand began to rise in 1972. Actually, it wasn't opened until August 1974, and it's seen quite a lot of ups and downs in the meantime in Chelsea's fortunes. As you mentioned, 2 relegations, but they're back now in the First Division, and down in the tunnel, they're preparing to take the field alongside their opponents tonight, Everton. Now, this is an idea that John Neal, the Chelsea manager, who himself is incidentally recovering well from heart surgery in the summer, he's working 3/4 pace at the moment. He wants Chelsea to come out alongside their opponents in as many matches as possible this season to help spread a spirit of goodwill around the stadium and in the crowd. So referee Brian Hill from Kettering leads the 2 teams out together. Kevin Ratcliffe and Colin Pates, the 2 young captains, followed by the 2 goalkeepers who are great buddies from their days in North Wales together. And so the Second Division champions are welcomed alongside the FA Cup holders. And just bear in mind that Chelsea on the right have started well. They've taken 4 points from their opening 2 fixtures. Everton, who are wearing their change strip tonight, well, Howard Kendall has seen their form slip rather at the start, and he's alongside John Hollins there, Chelsea coach now. Howard's team have lost their opening 2 league fixtures, having won the Charity Shield prior to that. So let's check on the 2 lineups for tonight's match. Chelsea are in fact unchanged because Kerry Dixon passed a fitness test today. There's no place for Welsh internationals Joey Jones or Mickey Thomas, he's the sub, and John Bumstead is not quite fit, so Dale Jasper, who's a promising 20-year-old, continues in midfield. Moving across then to the Everton side, it's the one which beat Liverpool in the Charity Shield at Wembley. That was possible because number 10, Paul Bracewell, who came from Sunderland, passed a fitness test on a bruised foot this afternoon. And it will shortly be interesting to see quite how this Everton side react to having had 2 defeats in their league matches since then. This has been a fairly successful ground for Everton in recent seasons. They've won 1-0 on their last 2 league visits, and only lost on 2 of their last 11. And so Brian Hill gets the match started. Chelsea in all blue, playing from left to right. Here's David Speedy. Back to Doug Rugby, who came in the summer from Aberdeen, and Speedy was onside. Everton in their change strip. Silver grey. Pleasant evening. The sun's been shining for most of the afternoon here in West London. Here's Peter Reid for Everton. Back to Mountfield. Looks for Heath. Rugby's made a good start at number 3 for Chelsea in the first 2 games, but gave it away there to Trevor Steven, and Everton force a corner. It was in by Gary Stevens, too long for Richardson. Speedy back in defence. Free kick. Chelsea, if they win tonight, will at least temporarily go top of the First Division. Everton, if they lose, would be right at the bottom, so plenty at stake as we await the first league tables of the season. Colin Lee with the long throw for Chelsea. Speedy is in there. Lee again. Here's Nevin. Again, Speedy up. So was Dixon, and Cannaville came to the near post. It's a goal kick, despite the appeals by Chelsea. Cannaville got the winning goal here against Sunderland on Monday and has kept Nicky Thomas out of the lineup tonight. Here's Sharp. And now Richardson. And Trevor Steven is in an outside right position. Neville. So is he normally. But this time he's helped by Jasper. With a big future, they feel, here at Chelsea. Dale Jasper. Lee wasn't a good header. Heath. But again, Pates very much in command. Dixon looking for Speedy. Cannaville now. Here's Lee. Dixon with Mountfield. Speckman beaten by Reid, who found Steven. Heath trying to stay onside on the right wing. Stevens. Reed. Heath. Flags up here. Offside. Chelsea are in a tremendous run of league matches without defeat. If you count the run-in to the Championship last season, they're unbeaten in their last 19 league games. Cannaville. And they're trying to stay onside, the Chelsea front men here. Everton square. And they haven't succeeded because Cannaville was late coming back. Forward by Mountfield. And a flick by Sharp, looking for Heath. Dixon. That was rather careless. Mountfield. And so was that. Offside against Speedy.
No question, John, he was just in the opponent's half of the field and in an offside position. Linesman absolutely right. But it's interesting to see the makeup of the two midfields. They're both playing a sort of 4-4-2 system, but the outside men for Chelsea, Nevin and Cannaville, seem to have more individual ability to open things up. Whereas if you contrast those with Everton, you get Stephen and Richardson. And the ball safely whacked into touch there. Richardson's on the left side of the field in place of Sheedy, and he doesn't appear to have penetration with his left. Yeah, he's a right-sided player, really, or a central player. And Stephen is sort of very, at the moment, a near moment there, which caused you to squeak in your seat there, John, that I might be actually commentating when the ball went in the net. But thank goodness it didn't. Your colours come back and you can have the microphone.
Well, you always knew the defender was going to get it round the post, Jim, didn't you? Corner to Everton. Mountfield is forward, and so is Bracewell. Header out was by McLaughlin. And here's Reed. And it's Trevor Stephen on the right. Here's Bracewell with a dummy, and this could give Chelsea an opportunity with Cannaville. Dixon's the only other player up with him, and he's away to Cannaville's right, taking on Gary Stevens, who's very quick, very athletic, and not many wingers skin him. Jimmy was mentioning Kevin Sheedy there, and indeed just a reminder that Sheedy and Andy Gray are both injured at the moment and not in the Everton side. Speedy, and the flag's up there. That's a free kick to Chelsea on the edge. Jasper, the new lad, is involved sometimes in these set plays. Nevin is there with him around the ball. And they're trying to set it up for each other, and in the end Jasper got a toe end to it and found McLaughlin. And Dixon got a touch too. Speedy is in there. So too was Jasper again, and now it's Nevin. Ken will be watching this rather anxiously, because Everton have conceded goals already this season from balls which have been recrossed after they thought they'd cleared. Just over a quarter of an hour gone. Speedy's header, and Dixon, and they nearly let another one in from a similar position. That's the Chelsea 1-2 of Speedy and Dixon.
Well, the first real attempt on goal, breaking the stalemate, coming after around 15 minutes.
Speedy, beaten by Reed. Dixon trying to cut off the back pass. In the director's box, Chelsea chairman Ken Bates with the beard announced some good financial returns this week. Indeed, he tells me that promotion last season in transfer fees cost Chelsea only a deficit of £7,000, which is no mean business. They've since bought Doug Rugby, but I think the season ticket money has taken care of that and a bit more. Cannaville. Persistence paid off. Spackman has gone across, but Rugby's the man with the long throw. And Speedy's there with Mountfield. Dixon is there too. John Bailey with the header. Jasper with the return. Nevin. Can he wriggle his way out of that tight area with 3 defenders round him? He knows the way. Jasper. Chipped in for Dixon. That's useful. And Bailey missed it. And Dixon hit the bar.
Well, that was a delightful ball from young Dale Jasper. Dixon was the one that slapped it, but just look at the pass coming up now. Look, delicately chipped in the air, perfectly in his path. Got a bit of luck with the bounce, but that's how he relishes taking a shot at goal. Loves the opportunity, never mind the misses. He adores those he scores.
Here's Cannaville. Bracewell for Everton. Jasper intercepting for Chelsea. The midfield on either side not quite together yet. Pass is going astray. Nevin. Match requires a spot of inspiration or imagination, and it won't come like that. And Sharp is on the chase here from Stevens' pass. And Sharp takes on Nevin, who went back to try and atone for his own error, and finally does so by finding Lee. On the chest of Speedy. Play on, says the referee. Not this time. Richardson, the player, fouled. Mountfield started a run on the far side, but it's gone over his head. Stevens is following up. Heath is in there. And not a good clearance by Nevin. Bailey. Tucked back by Heath to Bracewell, and then square to Peter Reid. Now Gary Stevens. Out to Trevor Stephen. 3 in the centre for Everton, 4 now. Stevens again. And Nijveski didn't judge that, and Richardson pulled it back to Sharp, and Sharp had a chance, 2 chances, and failed to take them. Very much Everton's problem there. And Bailey may give them another. Southall's had to come out, used his head effectively. Jasper, Nevin. Well, the point was made at the start that Everton's finishing still was part of their game they weren't happy with, and Eddie Nijveski there must have thought that Graham Sharp was favourite to score, but he failed on 2 counts. Here's Rugby for Chelsea. And onside this time, David Speedy. He had a yard on Ratcliffe, there's nobody else up with him yet. He's trying to hold it up to let them get inside. Jasper's there now. And hit that on the turn. Well, the long ball there, Doug Rugby catching out the Everton offside trap because Ratcliffe had just let Speedy go for a moment and the flag stayed down. Into the last 5 minutes of the first half. And we're still waiting for the opening goal. neither side has managed to dominate the game for any significant period, certainly not in the way of creating scoring chances or opening up the defence, but Nevin's trying to do just that here and has succeeded, and can they catch him? Still Nevin, and he just lost control when it mattered most. He was going all the way, Peter Reid couldn't reach him, he was a good couple of yards behind, and then Southall, who's very good at coming out anyway in a one-against-one, got the luck of the draw. Heath is threatening Chelsea here. It was just the sort of run that we've been waiting for and hoping for. That one by Pat Nevin. Because that really is what the game has lacked in this first half, some individual enterprise that might find a way through two comfortable defences, and Nevin had the legs there of his pursuers, but just failed to finish. So we've got 3 minutes left in the first half. And the Chelsea fans taking a dislike to Everton's patience game. Here's Nevin again. Now there could be a through ball on here for David Speedy, but Southall so fast to see those things happening in front of him. It's a good clearance too, right up to Heath. And it puts Everton into an attacking position from what, for a moment, appeared to be a dangerous defensive one. Neville Southall coming well out. Sharp hovering around the 6-yard line. Oh, the shot by Stevens actually hit Stephen. I think I got it the right way round. In by Bracewell. Dixon's touch and Mountfield's clearance. Heath hoping for a mistake by McLaughlin, it didn't come. And Pates, useful looking ball, that it's put Speedy on his way. Dixon's in the centre, Cannaville's joining him there, and so is Nevin. Speedy's cross, Dixon's header, and he got away from his marker, did Kerry Dixon. Well, that was a good run by Speedy, and when the cross came in, neither Bailey nor Mountfield was really picking up Dixon, and Ratcliffe is now sorting it out with his fellow defenders, but that was an opportunity. Just a minute left in the first half. Free kick to Everton. Mountfield is in there with the touch, so too was Jasper. Bailey is looking for Sharp, but before he can find him, the referee has blown the half-time whistle. There's no score. Chelsea will feel they've had the better opportunities, mainly when Kerry Dixon crashed that shot against the crossbar, and then in the closing minutes of the half placed a header wide of the post when he got away from the defenders. But by and large, defenders on both sides had quite a comfortable time there. There weren't too many scoring opportunities. Everton played it pretty tight. Chelsea, as the home side, being asked to make the pace. But at half-time in this Cannon League First Division match at Stamford Bridge, the score is promoted Chelsea 0, FA Cup holders Everton 0.
He's scored over 1,000 goals. He won 3 World Cups. He earned a reputation for honesty and fair play. Now, Pelé has joined a new team.
Tem muita gente decente trabalhando na indústria do cinema e nós temos que combater a pirataria por causa disso.
Rent, buy or download, but do it legally.
E fazer gol de placa contra a pirataria.
Designed to give you the power and responsiveness that could make all the difference. Shell V-Power. Fuel developed with Ferrari.
We understand everyone has different plans for the future. For your retirement, for your children's future. And plans for your home. Sometimes you need a little guidance. We'd like to see if we can help. Have a chat with your financial advisor or come in and see us at any branch of Lloyds TSB. Preparation is everything.
What?
Did you pick it up?
Buy a Subaru and you'll get something huge. Up to £3,000 worth of free fuel. Visit freefuel.subaru.co.uk.
With the ING Direct Savings account, there are no catches. And you can move your money when you like. So you can relax with the world's leading direct savings bank. Call now or go online. ING Direct. It's your money we're saving.
With Orange Pay Monthly, you can have unlimited free calls to your Orange Magic number. So now you can get to know each other better.
I think of a cheating, pathetic, sweaty moron, spotty brat, horrible, mental, smelly, arrogant, goofy, spoilt, drug cheat, descendants of convicts, horrible, bang out of order, horrible white trash.
Who could they possibly be talking about? Join us and find out. The 50 greatest sportsmen we love to hate. Sunday, the 22nd of October.
Kendall, who remembers this ground very well as a player, scored a memorable goal here in a Charity Shield match some years ago when Everton were champions and Chelsea were FA Cup holders. Everton are in the silver grey. There's no score. Heath. And he was fouled by Rugby. So Sharp starts his run through. Mountfield has come up from the back. Reed chipped it in. Mountfield flicked it on. It came off a Chelsea player who was Lee. And Nijveski held it on the line. And if Howard Kendall was a fine wing half, so too was John Hollins. Not just for Chelsea, his first club, but later had some good days with Queen's Park Rangers and Arsenal, where he finished up playing at right back and then played in that position for Chelsea for part of last season. He's now the club coach. Forward by Rugby. Heath to Reed. And now Richardson. Bracewell. Bailey. And away by Spackman. It was Speedy who was fouled. With John Neal, the manager, still recuperating from that operation. Ian McNeil, nearer to us on John's left, is an important figure here now, the assistant manager. You can see Peter Bonetti on the far side with the grey hair, and Joey Jones nearer to us. Meantime, on the pitch, Chelsea have a free kick for which McLaughlin has pushed forward. That was a header by Dixon. Header on was by Sharp, but Trevor Stephen couldn't reach it. Say too that Chelsea were trapped 11 times in offside positions by Everton in the first half. They were hoping to avoid that. Again, here's Speedy. Stevens up to Ratcliffe. Reed has pushed forward inside right position, beaten by Spackman. Header was by Bracewell. And then Speedy. And Kerry Dixon giving chase, but Ratcliffe very secure. And in front of those waving supporters, Chelsea trying to get some rhythm into their game. Hasn't been easy. Nevin. Oh, and Speedy got through there, and Dixon with a chance. And that was probably the best chance he's had. Better than the two in the first half. It was well set up by Speedy, who got away from the defence, cut it back, and Dixon, well, very much the wrong side of the post. Good play earlier in the move by Nevin too. And the long kick by Southall searches out Sharp. Here's Stephen. And now here's Stevens. Rugby played the ball the first time. I'm not so sure about the second. The linesman wasn't either. Oh, and that was a good effort. Sharp and Mountfield are proving difficult there for Chelsea to pick up. Sharp came in behind Mountfield and didn't miss by much. Sharp with the header. They've got to make it pay. They can. This is Trevor Stephen. Reed. In by Bracewell, and Richardson's coming up on the left. And coming inside, and that's a good goal. And Richardson shows again what a good little finisher he is when he gets the sight of goal. And produces what the strikers couldn't do, a goal to put Everton into the lead. He got one or two useful goals last season, Kevin Richardson, and when that ball went over Colin Lee's head, he came back inside the fullback. Nijveski was covering his near post, but Richardson found a gap. Through Kevin Richardson. Well, Spackman there was the player who went in rather too high, and it gives Jimmy Hill a chance to talk not just about the tackle, but about the goal.
Well, I've always liked Kevin Richardson, there's no question about it. He's a fine player who loves to score, but just look now, really Colin Lee there had his eye on the player and not the ball. He really was sleeping. It did show a lot of initiative, the way that he flicked the ball back with his right foot to go past him. But on the other hand, Lee, for a moment, just it was like a statue there, almost perhaps like he was in his centre-forward days when a player went past him. It was not so important now, but it is important when you're in the full-back position. But it just shows how fragile Everton can be when their front men are not scoring. That's why I would like to see Ian Richardson in the middle, because he's got a better chance to get into the area and provide that kind of odd goal-scoring opportunity for them. Adrian Heath up to now has been virtually anonymous, which has not helped.
This is Mountfield, and Heath's in there this time, and so is Bracewell here. It was tucked back for Bailey. In fairness to Everton, Jimmy, they'd had a fairly good 10 minutes up to that point, hadn't they?
They just got Chelsea rocking, really, and both fullbacks tonight have not been as sound as they might have been.
Chelsea have installed fences this season, not just to prevent that sort of thing, but also to guard against pitch invasions. Free kick to Chelsea against Bailey. Lee leaving it for Cannaville. There's Nevin. Bailey up his back. And Bracewell. And here's Cannaville. And now Nevin. Oh, left it for Cannaville. Always going wide of the far post.
A lot of fuss about nothing, I think, with that incident, John. The crowd have been very well behaved, enjoying it as much as they can, with Chelsea losing 1-0, but still creating plenty of atmosphere and excitement in the stadium, and a fair part of the ground chock-a-block and full. The one thing they will need is a goal from their favourites. They were getting them in the second division, but are they going to be scarcer in the first?
Well, two little omens in Chelsea's favour, Jimmy. Mickey Thomas has never been on the losing side in a Chelsea team in a league match since he joined them. He's just come on. And another one in a moment. Here's Cannaville. And Nevin. And the new Chelsea captain, or new towards the end of last season, Colin Pates, hasn't experienced defeat since he took over the leadership of the team. However, they are trailing 1-0. And Nevin has earned a free kick against Gary Stevens. What a waste. And two Scottish players looking at each other there. Total misunderstanding between Nevin and Rugby. It would be to clinch their first decent result of the season here tonight. They have the one-goal advantage. Peter Reid battling away in midfield, but forward by McLaughlin. Nevin in pursuit. Mountfield doesn't make many mistakes in those positions, because he doesn't take risks. Spackman back to Rugby. And the crossing, very disappointing just at the moment. The attendance figure at Stamford Bridge this evening, incidentally, 17,800. Rugby forward. Mickey Thomas to Nevin. Interception by Mountfield. And Heath got a foot in there on McLaughlin. Spackman covered. Chelsea got 4 players making forward runs. Nevin is one of them, number 7. Bailey staying close to him. So Lee to take the throw. Cannaville, off his toes by Reed. Here's Lee again. And Pates, the Chelsea captain. Mickey Thomas is forward. Cannaville's calling in the centre. Here's Thomas. Pates up again, and Cannaville. And whipped away by Bailey. Cannaville with the corner. Rugby was there. Oh, that's an overhead kick by Nevin. It stayed in play too, and Richardson cleared. Acrobatics from Pat Nevin. Well, Chelsea are getting a string of free kicks and corners. It's a question of whether they can make one pay here. McLaughlin's gone forward. He got half a touch on it, and Southall looking still very much in command there. .15 minutes to go here at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 0, Everton 1. The goal scorer, Kevin Richardson. Came in the 57th minute. Trevor Stephen. Good effort. Oh, good save by Nijveski. Well, another example of a wide player cutting in for a shot. Trevor Stephen this time. Came inside Doug Rugby. Saw the possibility of the far corner, and Nijveski at full stretch. Corner to Everton. And McLaughlin has cleared it for another corner. Heath, oof, if he'd met that with a full-blooded volley, could easily have been 2-0. Dixon and Speedy with 2 defenders against them. Good flick by Dixon, and back to him from Speedy. And a good block too by Gary Stevens. Swift counter-attack by Chelsea, giving their supporters hope. They have the corner to be taken by Cannaville. 7 minutes left. McLaughlin, oh, and Southall didn't make it. Here comes Spackman. Element of hope there for Chelsea. He doesn't drop many. McLaughlin. And Colin Lee had joined the attack there, and that might leave Chelsea one short at the back. It's Trevor Stephen on the ball with Heath now. Ratcliffe's made a tremendous run from defence. He's over on the far side of the area. This is Stephen. Mickey Thomas got the challenge in. Now it's Stevens. Heath. Stephen again. Reed taking over now. Richardson has gone wide. Bailey. Into Heath. He's tricked Spackman as Heath, but Spackman knew a way around that and recovered admirably. Didn't pass the ball so well. Cannaville. It's really a series of errors this match at times, but Cannaville stopped in his tracks by Bracewell. Otherwise, he was clear. Pull possibly at the back of the thigh there for Cannaville, but Lee has the ball. Chelsea's throw. And they'll be looking to Lee to get some length here. Speedy going towards him. And Cannaville and Nevin, and it had to be helped off the line there with Southall very pleased at the presence of Stephen, I think. Nevin. There's Trevor Stephen on the line. Thomas. And here comes Spackman. Trevor Stephen taking up the position on the goal line, and as Colin Lee put the ball in there, you'll see what happened. It was flicked on. Nevin had the final touch, and Stephen, and there's a foul in the area, which gives Everton a free kick. So, was that Chelsea's last chance, I wonder? Because there are only 4 minutes remaining here at Stamford Bridge. And they trail 1-0. Header was by Pates. And Stevens. Stephen. And back by Spackman. Well, it's long and hopeful. Cannaville is chasing. John Bailey in front of him. Chelsea might have to find a little bit more variety in their attacking play if they're going to slice apart First Division defences. Speedy. Oof. Appeals for handball there by 2 Chelsea players. Referee had a quick look and shook his head. It was driven actually at the player, rather. And that's flicked in, intended for Nevin. He couldn't reach it. As he did stretch out there, he made contact with an Everton defender. Kevin Ratcliffe. Anything that Chelsea are going to salvage now has got to come very late in the day. Rugby. It's one to chase for Nevin, and Southall has committed himself here. And Gary Stevens conceded the corner. As Nevin threatened, Southall came a long way out, might have misjudged it slightly. And now he's up there with Rugby and McLaughlin. And it's hooked back in by Pates. That was a good punch, under challenge by the goalkeeper. and the break is by Adrian Heath, and there are two on this side of the field. Peter Reid, and outside him, Trevor Stephen. And Richardson's made a good run down the centre. Rugby to clear. Stephen. Reid. Stephen again. Bracewell, Everton calling the tune again here. Sharp. Heath. And Nijveski quick to find Kerry Dixon. The tackle's coming in quickly from Mountfield. Here's Trevor Stephen. We're into the last minute of the normal period. There may be some stoppage time. Everton happy to keep possession. Peter Reid. Harry Stevens. Goes Heath. Sharp. And now Stephen. Richardson's made his run into the centre. Still Stephen. Pull back for Bracewell. Gary Stevens wide. And Doug Rugby. And Chelsea will have to hurry now. We're going into time being added on for stoppages. And there certainly isn't much of that. And John Bailey and Cannaville having a kick after the final whistle, and the linesman's had to step in. An ugly incident there with the game officially over, and Cannaville being held back there by the linesman with the yellow flag. Michael Topping, otherwise that could have got ugly, or more so than it was. John Hollins having to come in there and take Cannaville away. John Bailey, the Everton player, involved. So an explosive finish to what has proved to be Chelsea's first defeat in 20 Cannon League matches, their first defeat in Division 1 since promotion, and Everton's first league points of the season picked up with a 1-0 win. A match which hinged very much on a miss by Kerry Dixon early in the second half, followed by a good Everton spell, culminating in the goal from Kevin Richardson on 57 minutes. After that, Everton were practiced and knowledgeable in the way they kept the lead, and John Hollins' Chelsea side didn't quite have the edge or the imagination to pull it back. So the final score at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 0, Everton 1.
Well, one man who'll be relieved tonight is Howard Kendall, Bob, Everton's manager. Those heady days at the end of last season, and you start off, you beat Liverpool in the Charity Shield, and all of a sudden you've got no points from 2 games, and you wonder what's happened. Yeah,
he's obviously had something to say to them at half-time, Howard, because they were very negative the first half, and we were talking about offside traps being really not very good for the game. You can say that again, and it's beautifully illustrated in the performance in the second half. I mean, Paul Bracewell, Peter Reid, all started picking balls up, started going forward, started being positive, and suddenly they took the game by the scruff of the neck, and Chelsea really never got in it. It was, but I think he obviously shook them up and said, you know, come on lads, you know, we might as well be hung for a sheep as a lamb. Let's go out and try and do something positive. And they did, and they looked a really good team second half, and fully deserved to win the match.